Alright guys, I hope you had a safe Memorial Day weekend. I probably should have posted this video earlier, but it's a little busy this weekend. I helped my mother sign up for unemployment, and I tried to see if I can get her to sign up for this PPP since there's new funds supposedly into the system. But in my last video, I mentioned that I received a mail from Florida Unemployment basically saying that my application was ineligible, at least until I provided additional information. After I got home and I checked my email, I had received an email from Florida's Department of Unemployment basically saying the same thing. However, in the email, there was a link provided, and I'm going to provide that link in this video, that led to a site that said Florida Department of Economic Opportunity. It is a Florida unemployment site, but it gives more information about the CARES Act benefit, which is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Act, or whatever, the PUA. What I did on Friday is I called the 1-800 number that was provided on the link to speak to someone to get more information, because what confuses me is this PUA was supposed to start on March 29th. And in case you haven't seen my other videos, the PUA, what it basically says is, in addition to whatever unemployment funds you get from the state, when you qualify for unemployment, you will get an additional $600, which conservatives are all up in arms about, because they're saying that people who are on unemployment right now are getting paid more than if they were at work. And, you know, the left is saying, well, yeah, maybe instead of complaining about them not wanting to go back to a low-paying job, maybe pay them a living wage. While the right is saying, yeah, but if you want, it's the same argument as always. If you want more money, you need to get a better job, whatever. So without getting into the politics of that, I can see both sides of the issue. And as a result, this is not going to continue. Senator McConnell had already said that he's adamant that this is not going to continue. Basically, all the Republicans don't want to continue this, which I find ironic, because we're now in almost the end of May. This thing was supposed to start in the end of March, and as far as I know, I don't know anyone who's gotten it, at least not in Florida. There's supposed to be a portal set up for this, and that's what was said in both the email and the website for Florida's unemployment. They said that if you do not qualify, if you're self-employed, you're a gig worker, and you don't qualify for the regular state unemployment, you should qualify for this PUA. Now, this was never mentioned before, at least I wasn't aware of it before, but if you're gonna get the PUA, it says if you worked in 2019, please provide one of the following: your 2019 federal tax return, your 2019 1099 forms, final pay stub of 2019, and financial statements. Which doesn't make sense, because if you're unemployed, I mean, if you're self-employed, whatever. It's just, here it is. If self-employed, January, okay, that's after January 1st. So I don't know. That's why I had called and I tried to get more information. I tried to ask, listen, if I'm self-employed, I need to confirm what must I provide to get this PUA from the CARES Act, the $600 a week grant, because I called it unemployment payment, and I'm surprised I got someone on the phone to begin with. And the woman on the phone said, first of all, just to make it clear, this is not unemployment, this is a federal grant. And I'm like, dude, spare me the semantics, man. You know, they make it seem like they're doing us a favor, but this is money from taxpayers. So I've been working since I was 16 years old. I'm now in my 40s. And I've never applied for, I applied for food stamps. I mentioned in a video before, I applied for food stamps when I was in school and I was working 2 jobs and I just wasn't making ends meet. But like I said in my previous video, in Florida, if you're a full-time student, you can't qualify for food stamps because Florida. But I've never applied for unemployment before, and I wouldn't have to if I wasn't mandated by the government to not work, to stay home. And as a result of this entire issue, I have clients that have lost their jobs, and I have clients that may not want to ever train again because they're old and they're afraid of catching this Charlie 19. So I called her and I asked for information. I asked when should I expect this portal to be created, because I looked at some online articles, and articles that were written in early April said they would have it done by beginning of May. Another article said they'll have it done by the first week of May. Another article said it would be done by the middle of May. We're now at the end of May and the portal's still not available. So I asked her if she can give me an estimate as to when this portal will be available. The letter I received and the email I read both said that if you're self-employed and you do not qualify, for the regular unemployment, you will receive a link that would send you to a website, a portal that allows you to sign up for the $600 PUA. She said, well, that's a federal thing that has nothing to do with us, so I can't provide you any information. What? I mean, this thing is supposed to be tied in with the state unemployment. The money was given to the state to disperse to the people. She's a representative for Florida's unemployment, and she told me she can't provide me any information. And I don't know if she was being helpful or just dismissive. She said that she's received many calls from other people asking similar questions, and she's going to tell me what she's told them was to go online and Google it myself. And no website I found Googling it provided any more information or any better information than the one I'm going to provide here for this video. But even if you're not in Florida, then again, unless Florida has different rules for getting the PUA, but that's the problem with this PUA. It was asinine for the federal government to give money that's meant to be given to the people, to the state, through a system that they knew was already overburdened, especially with states as incompetent as this one. So it says that this is from March 29th to July 25th. So they've got less than a month left of this, and I don't know if this is going to be paid retroactively. So this is just beyond asinine. That means that they're technically 2 months behind disseminating these funds. That's a level of incompetence that's criminal. It's criminal. I understand that the unemployment system is overburdened by massive amounts of people signing up for unemployment, but this bug started back in December. The government knew the severity of this back in January, February. They were either naive and stupid, or they were just implicitly lying to the public when they said that this wasn't going to be very serious. I mean, there are senators that are under investigation for dumping stocks. That's how serious that they believed it was. That they'll be willing to commit insider trading, basically. So they had time to do this. I mean, most of us, I know not all of us, most of us have gotten the stimulus payment. Simply put, they should have been giving us at the very least, $1,500 every month. Every month. And for a lot of people, that's not enough. That's not going to cover it. And it's people who live in communities that are fairly cheap, they can get away with surviving on $1,500 a month. But people like myself who live in Miami, where my crappy little studio costs over $1,000 a month in rent, and you know, car insurance here is ridiculously high because of the amount of thefts and crime that is here in Miami. And I know someone can say, well, if Miami's so bad, then get up and leave. Trust me, I wish I could, but I just don't have the finances right now, and it would be stupid to get up and leave and go somewhere without some savings, unless I just want to risk it all and go someplace and travel someplace to start over. But my point is that that's why I say $1,500 at the minimum, because some people might say, wow, $1,500 is a lot. I can do a lot with $1,500 a month. Whereas others, that's just a drop in a bucket for their monthly needs. So just a one-time $1,200 check over, and we shut down, I think it was like the middle of March or the end of March that everyone was mandated to shut things down. So we're talking about all of April, all of May. That's 2 months worth of income that a lot of people haven't gotten. So if you didn't have savings to last you for 2 months, man, I mean, I hate watching mainstream news, but I doubt they're lying about this, but there's long lines, food lines of people trying to get food. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me see if there's anything else on here that I should have mentioned before I end this video early. Yeah, it says, note, you will need to provide documentary proof of wages and proof of employment within 21 days from the claim file date. Okay, well, that's a problem. I mean, that means you have to show proof within 21 days of you claiming, or 21 days of the date you claimed. I don't know, dude. This is just so stupid. They put so many rules and regulations on something and treat you as if it's your fault that you're out of work, when you're just following government orders. Let me see. The Federal Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program is provided through the Federal CARES Act and administered by the Department of Economic Opportunity. This program provides the 13 weeks of benefits to claimants who exhausted their reemployment assistance benefits. Well, I mean, it's hard to exhaust something you haven't even started getting. So, yeah, guys, I don't see anything else in here that's really of useful info. I've searched everywhere for this so-called portal. Like I said, the woman on the phone basically dismissed me, or maybe she just honestly didn't know. She said, look, this is a federal thing. We have no idea when this is going to get started, but I don't believe that's entirely correct. The money was given to the state. It was the state's responsibility to disseminate that money through unemployment, and Florida has just basically had their head up their rectum. So I don't know. I sent a message via social media site to the representative that's in my area. I forget her name. She was, oh, I was gonna look at my phone, but I'm using it to record myself. That's how tired and sleepy I am. The representative that I sent the message to is a Democrat who apparently used to be the president of UM. No reply, and I don't think I ever will get a reply. I can't help but think that she doesn't even run that social media site. That's just one of her minions runs it and posts the occasional picture. So I don't know, dudes. I don't know. I hope you guys are doing okay out there. I hope you managed to get some sort of income. I hope you applied for the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, and the EIDL. And there's another financial YouTube channel I like to watch, and I remember this guy because he's easy to remember. It's Meet Kevin. Very bubbly, very hyper, so you know, just get past that. But provides decent information, and he tries to update his followers on the goings-on with this economic situation. So he gives some good info, so check him out. All right, guys, let me end this now. Take care.